Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Food and Beverage Club. And today let's talk about soup and its types. So, what is soup? Soup is a highly flavorful and aromatic liquid which is made by boiling of either veggies or meats. It could be served as a separate soup course or as a side. Soup could also be served hot or cold depending on its variety. They are generally accompanied with croutons, breads, or salt and pepper. Now let's see what are the types of soups. Soups are of two types, thin and thick, depending on its consistency. So I have made a classification chart which will help you in better understanding of different types of soup. As you can clearly see, soups are broadly classified into two types, thin and thick. It totally depends on the consistency of the soup. Thin soup can be further classified into two types, broth and consomme. Broths are soups which cannot pass through a strainer because of its ingredient. An example of broth is Scotch broth. Consomme is a very unique kind of soup which is made by simmering of the ingredients and it is then clarified. Clarification is the process of removal of sediments and fat particles using egg. An example of consomme is consomme julienne. Just for your information, consommes are generally named after its ingredients. Like if a consomme is garnished with juliennes of vegetables, it is called as consomme julienne. Now let's talk about thick soups. Soups which are thickened using some kind of thickeners. Thick soups can be further classified into five types: velouté, puree, cream, bisque, and chowder. Velouté is a kind of thick soup in which the thickener is velouté sauce and it is finished with liaison. Liaison is a mixture of 3 parts of cream and 1 part of egg white. An example of velouté is chicken velouté. Now let's talk about puree. So puree is a soup which is made by pureeing the ingredient and hence the starch of the ingredient act as a thickener. Example of puree is tomato puree or celery puree. Now let's talk about the third type of thick soup, which is cream. Cream soups are thickened with bechamel sauce and are finished with cream. An example is cream of tomato or cream of mushroom. The fourth type of soup is called bisque. Bisque is a type of thick soup which is generally made with shellfish and thickened with rice. It is finished with cream. An example is lobster bisque. And the last and final type of soup is called chowder, which is again uses seafood as the base ingredient and are thickened with potato starch. The chowder is finished with cream, and one of the most common examples is clam chowder. So as I said, consommes are named after their garnish. So here's a list of consommes and their garnish. The first one is consomme julienne, garnished with red juliennes. Second is consomme royal, garnished with savory pancakes. Consomme princess, garnished with diced peas. Consomme celestine, garnished with crepe juliennes. Consomme vermicelli, garnished with vermicelli pasta. Consomme Duberry, garnished with florets of cauliflower, consomme some germain, garnished with peas, consomme florentine, garnished with blanched spinach, consomme alexandra, garnished with shredded lettuce. You can just pause the video and have a look at all the different types of consommes. So here's a list of some international soups and some cold soups. Let's talk about the international soups first. So these are the soups which represent a specific country culture. Like gumbo is from USA, Scotch broth is Scottish soup, green turtle is a British soup, minestrone is an Italian soup, acacota is again an Italian variety of soup, kukaliki is a Scottish variety of soup, mulligatawny is an Indian variety of soup made with lentils and served along with rice. Paprika is international soup from Hungary. French onion, as the name says, it's from France. Petite marmite is again a French soup. Gazpacho is a Spanish cold soup, and oxtail is a soup from England. Let's talk about cold soup. These are soups which are served cold instead of being served hot or warm. Like gazpacho is served cold, Ritz is there, Lily with choice delete consomme. You can just pause the video and have a look at all the different varieties of international and cold soups. This is all about the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.